Hi there, guys. I did my speech on the Exodus Road and the fight against human trafficking. So every single year, human traffickers generate billions of dollars in profits throughout the wrongful victimization of millions of people throughout the United States, as well as around the world as well. Traffickers are estimated to exploit 40.3 million victims, with an estimated 25 million individuals involved in forced labor and another 15 million victims throughout forced marriages. Although general awareness has grown in this devastating crime, human trafficking continues to be underreported due to mostly the misconceptions about its own definition, a lack of indicator awareness among the general populace as well, and the secretive nature of these crimes. An organization which is actively working to disrupt this modern-day slavery by partnering with law enforcement, equipping communities to protect the vulnerable, and to empower survivors of these heinous crimes is called the Exodus Road. So today I will be discussing the Exodus Road and how they're actively fighting against human trafficking throughout today's world. But in order to truly emphasize the importance of this organization, we will first look into the history of the Exodus Road and discuss their foundational background, followed by discussing their efforts through education and training, intervention programs, as well as aftercare programs as well, and concluding with how your help could help make a difference throughout one of these victims' lives. To understand the detrimental importance of this organization, let's firstly discuss the history of the Exodus Road and how it began to fight against human trafficking throughout the world, as well as discussing the foundational outlook on their work as well. So how was the Exodus Road created? The Exodus Road began through the journey and combined work of founders Laura and Matt Parker. So in April of 2010, Matt and Laura moved to Southeast Asia with their family. And during that time, Matt and Laura were exposed to marginalized groups of people who were targets for human trafficking throughout the area. Over time, Matt began to network with NGOs and local police throughout the area in an attempt to learn about the problems that were occurring kind of around them in their area around there. And after investigating hundreds of bars and brothels throughout Southeast Asia side by side with the police, Matt and Laura began the Exodus Road in January of 2012 with the belief that justice is in the hands of ordinary people who are just like them. So a little foundational background on the Exodus Road. They work side by side with local staff, NGO partners, and law enforcement throughout the entire world in fights to liberate trafficked individuals, arrest traffickers, and provide restorative care for survivors. Ever since its founding in 2012, the organization has assisted police in the rescue of more than 2,400 survivors and the arrest of more than 1,200 offenders, which are numbers that are actually growing daily. Their approach to freedom incorporates a few different methods, including intervention, training, and education, and as well as aftercare efforts as well. So now that we have gained a foundational understanding on the Exodus Road and understand how they really began, let's dive into their methods and their programs that they have used for the last decade to help combat human trafficking. So there are three methods and programs, like I stated earlier, that they approach kind of the situation towards. And the first of these is prevention, which is helping at-risk kids and families to avoid trafficking situations. Intervention, secondly, which is gathering evidence that helps officials arrest and charge these traffickers, as well as sex customers as well. And then third and finally is the aftercare, which is after working with partners. It provides aftercare that helps victims recover from the abuse that they suffered and kind of help them get back to the real world. The Exodus Road works in connection with national law enforcement and other anti-human trafficking organizations in several strategic areas. They partner with law enforcement and empower local operatives to push for collecting evidence that may lead to the future rescue of victims and the arrests of traffickers as well. The organization is also dedicated to the aftercare of rescued survivors. This includes Freedom Home, which is one of their programs. It is a trauma-informed home and mentorship program in Thailand for women who have been liberated from sex or labor trafficking. The organization also invests in training and education efforts as well through a program called Traffic Watch Academy, which is a specialized training program for Brazilian law enforcement officers. So partnering with human trafficking experts in Brazil, the Exodus Road hopes to make an immediate impact upon the problem of human trafficking. This Traffic Watch Academy is also involved as a training program for citizens here in the United States to help everyday individuals recognize and fight trafficking throughout their own American communities as well. So by training, equipping in employing foreign nationals to help in the fight against human trafficking throughout their own countries. The Exodus Road seeks to empower local communities and also affect significant and long-term change as well. The Exodus Road also has dedicated permanent teams and partners throughout Thailand, Latin America, India, the Philippines, Brazil, as well as the United States. So today I touched on the very important work that the Exodus Road has done to try and combat human trafficking all over the world. So to kind of conclude here, this is what is most important, which is the long-lasting change. So this organization has been fighting on behalf of millions of victims throughout the entire world, beginning, from Matt and Laura Parker working side by side with police in Southeast Asia when they first moved there with their family, to creating the Exodus Road, the organization which has worked with countries all over the world to help address this issue of human trafficking. And throughout years of pushing for training and prevention, intervention tactics for law enforcement officers, and aftercare for the victims of human trafficking. The Exodus Road has saved thousands of individuals, but this organization can only do so much. With support from individuals who want to help contribute and save the lives of those who have found themselves throughout these terrible circumstances, they can continue to grow their influence and help to unravel this crime that has gone way too far throughout our world. The best way to help this organization is to contribute through donations, as these issues cannot be addressed without the proper funds to keep these organizations pushing forward. Thank you.